Welcome back to the Positive Side Podcast. Glad you're tuning in. The host, Jeremy Todd. It's been a little bit of time. I know it's been a long time. I haven't done a solo podcast. Woo. Man, again, shame on me. I don't even know what I don't really want to talk about. It's been a long time, but we're back and better than ever at the new crib in the south side of Fort Wayne. Big house by myself and living in the house, but it's good. It's been living by myself for a while now with little things, and we'll get into these podcasts. I'll do a little bit more, talk about a little bit more about what's going on in my life. But I know we all love that, right? We all love the juicy gossip. Oh my God, did you hear what Jeremy's doing? Oh my God, did you hear his new podcast? Did you hear what's going on with his life? We get it. And like always, there's one thing about this show is it's definitely authentic. But let's get into a 5-star review real quick. Caleb Podcast. This podcast will help you tap into your true self and give you practical advice on how to overcome fear and failure. It's a must listen, man. Thank you so much. And you're exactly right. I try and do that through this show. I talk about some of the things that I've been, the things I struggle with, right? I mean, relationships, depression, just life, man, like pressure in life. I've got a great job. Even now more than ever, there's a lot more pressure. There's a lot of things going on. But man, I just like to share these experiences because you're not alone. Everything that you're going through, hopefully this podcast gives you some inspiration and some motivation. But I came across something the other day on Facebook, and I'll remember her name hopefully by the time I get done going over this podcast. What is her name? I worked with her at Southwestern Consulting. Sorry, I'm sure you're not listening, but if you are, I apologize. You know who you are, but this was so powerful. I had to talk about it. Let's get into it. If I can find the picture of my phone. This is great. It is going to, here it is. 3 things we can control. Now I'm gonna have a meeting tomorrow at my job about these things, and so important. 3 things we can control. So, get a piece of paper out, get a pen out, and I really, as I go through these things, I would like for you to think about these in your life. Number 1 is motivation. We can control our motivation. And what does that look like? How do you do it? Facts, right? Like what do you do every single day? Do you actually hold yourself accountable for motivation? Do you do the things that we talk about? Do you turn your car into a classroom? Are you listening to motivation things in the morning? Do you listen to things in the afternoon when you're down and out, bummed out on your lunch hour? Are you listening to some cool podcasts? Maybe this one, hint, share this with other people. But there's a lot of great podcasts out there. And I think the more you show the interest in these things that just make you better and share the word of motivation to others, man, you just surround yourself with better and better people. It's extremely important. Now, I've recently been listening to T.D. Jakes in the morning. Again, we know this. I'm not the most religious person in the world, but man, that dude brings the heat every single time. I love his show. And he just talks about life. And that's really how I've been getting my day started recently, is just really dialing in first thing in the morning, while I'm shaving, while I'm getting my clothes on, while I'm doing whatever I got to be doing. I turn it up really loud in my house, the benefit of being by myself in the house. But T.D. Jakes, man, that dude just gets me fired up, gives me that motivation. I've also listened to some Joey Diaz lately. If you haven't found Joey Diaz on Instagram or probably TikTok, he's so good. But that is one thing we can't control, is our motivation. We make the choice of what our day is going to be like. If you wake up in a bad mood, that's a choice. You can flip it around. But you need some motivation. So control the motivation, book in your days. Number 2, skills. 3 things we can't control. Skills. What does that mean? Do we have the skills in our career and in our life to be a great parent, to be a great father, a great mother, a great friend? Do we have skills to lead? Do we have skills to take chances? Do we have skills to be able to manage our motivation? They're like, these things all go together. But when I think about my skills, I again, not breaking my arm, pat myself on the back, but I think I got some skills. I got skills to pay the bills for sure. But my self-doubt constantly creeps in. So I can control my skills by working hard, by going in early, learning from the best. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I need to mirror the best of the best. And I really take on pride in that. I am 100% coachable and trainable. I guess that's one way to look at it. Are you coachable and trainable? Having the skills allows you to take advantage. If you have the motivation, the skills, you can get really far in life. but you've got to actually be real with yourself and swallow the pride, swallow your ego, learn skills, learn things that are going to separate you from the best. One of my favorite quotes of all time is talent beats or work beats talent when talent doesn't work, right? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work, something along those lines. You get what I'm saying? But the harder you work, the more skills you develop, the more motivation you have, you would literally become an unstoppable force. Literally. I mean, there is nothing that can stop you. Because even when you start having bad days, you start questioning the things going on, that motivation helps you get through. And as it gets you through, you learn more skills. And that leads right into number 3 is systems. 3 things we can't control. Number 1, motivation. Number 2, skills. Number 3, systems. What does systems mean? For you, it could be something that you do through work. Do you make phone calls? Do you appraise homes? Do you coach other people? Do you, whatever. I mean, fill in the blank. Do you have the proper systems? And so when I think of systems, what does my systems look like for me? Number 1 is my schedule. My schedule is so vitally important. And it's so funny because I always tell people, if it's not on my schedule, it doesn't get done. But time and time again, I don't put things in my schedule and then it doesn't get done. I'm like, damn it, Jeremy, work on your systems. You have to master your systems to be extremely efficient and super successful. And these are the things that I'm talking about. Like, what does your day look like tomorrow? If you're wherever you're listening to this podcast, what does your day look like today? Are the systems in place? Do you have a calendar? Do you have programs at your work that you can rely on? Do you know them? What are your systems like? What is your daily system like? What time do you get up? What do you eat for breakfast? What time do you go to bed? What time do you, again, fill in the blank. We have to have these systems in our life. We just can't willy-nilly these things. I know it sounds like easy. I roll out of bed at 8, between 6 and 10 or whatever, whatever that number is, but that's not a system. That's not a schedule. That's not something you can stay on that you can really hone in on. But if you can master the motivation, you can master the skill set, and then you can master the systems. Give me one reason why you can't be successful. So let's start there, right? So if we talk about all these things, those 3 things, Jeremy, where do I start? I feel like I don't have enough motivation. I feel like I don't have enough skills. I don't have any systems. What do I do? Well, it's easy. Number 1, hire a coach, right? We've talked about this 1,000 times. If that's not something you're good at, put your money where your mouth is and pay for a coach to help you develop these 3 things. I think that's number 1. I think it's probably the most important thing you could do is have a coach. Let's get past that though. What can you do? Number 1, I would do right in a row. Number 1, start with motivation. If you can't get out of bed at a specific time because you have lack of motivation, your day is downhill. You've got to be able to set your time for whatever time you get up. You got to get up and get out of bed. You got to get going. You got to listen to that motivation. Right when you get out of bed, turn something on. Turn a podcast. Turn my buddy Sam Crowley on. Turn Gary Vee on. Whatever the podcast is that you want on TV. And visually, like I get ready to get jacked up in the day. So maybe your motivation's going for a walk. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe on the way to the gym, you can listen to some pump up music. Whatever the case is, motivation. Number 2, then you develop the skills because nothing's going to stop you. As soon as you develop those skills, then you can develop the systems. And I would say almost the skills and systems would probably go hand in hand. Developing a schedule, I think that is a great system to have. What time you're going to get up, what time you're going to go to lunch, what time you're going to get home, what are you going to do when you get home, what time you're going to go to bed, how do you book in your days with motivation? And then as you do that, continue to listen to things to develop more skills. And I promise you, no matter where you are in your life, doing these 3 things will take your life to the next level. There's no question in my mind. So a Positive Side Podcast, back and better than ever. I'm developing my systems again, right? Getting back into it. I'm human. I'm like you. I fall off the wagon. I walk away from these systems. I walk away from my schedule. I walk away from what I find is very, very important to me. And I love talking to you guys. If you've got questions, obviously email me, jeremy@jeremytodd.com. I'm always around, always available. Shoot me those emails, ask me those questions, share this message, leave those 5-star reviews on iTunes. It allows other people like you to find the show. I say it in every single episode. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And real quick, we're going to get more episodes out. I promise. I'm not going away. I told you this guy's I think this is like 4.5 years of this podcast. I'm not that bad penny. I just keep turning over. You just keep finding me, and damn, he's back again. That's right, folks. I'm back again. Hey, real quick, run over to Amazon. Check out the book, The Positive Side. I would love to get some feedback on that too. You can get that. I think it's $12 on Amazon. Very cheap. Buy them for your friends. Great stocking stuffers. Anyways, like I say on every single show, You've got greatness within. Like always, this is the positive side.